Okay, those of you that follow Formula One will know that last weekend at the American Grand Prix, Lando Norris was given a penalty for going off track, and they call it gaining a position. McLaren have then appealed, and that appeal has been rejected. And the broadcasters, the contracted media, Karen Chandok here has informed us of why that is and given us his evidence. And this is what I'm going to destroy in this video. I'm also going to do videos where I will show you that the BBC's Andrew Benson just repeats the same the same notion, which is what they do. This is the same dynamic. I'm not going to get into that in this video. That'll be for the next one and the one after that. So please subscribe to the channel to watch those videos. Now, a word of warning before, if you're new to the channel, a word of warning, because if you are the type of person that, in order to actually understand something, needs to have lots of different images that don't relate to Formula One racing, in order, flashing across the screen constantly, in order for you to gain some sort of understanding of it, then this isn't the channel for you. Okay, so if you're a retard, not capable of basic cognitive function, not capable of functioning as a adult in this world, I suggest you go to the F1 website and have a look at the F1 rules explained, because they'll explain the rules to you using America, fuck yeah, a sloth. That's for when they explain about a wet day in Belgium, where the rules don't apply. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, Pirate ship, um, battleships. Oh, show of power. Um, Clockwork. It runs like clockwork, this sport. And who would know what that would be? No idea. So yeah, if you're a beginner to the sport, go and have a look on the Formula One's website. If you're an adult, you might be able to understand this content. So what we have is rules of life, rules and regulations. Think of it in the world that we have laws, okay, a code of conduct where these are the parameters that define what's acceptable and what is not. And everybody knows them. You know you're not allowed to go and kill somebody. You're not allowed to rape somebody. You're not allowed to steal from somebody. These are the rules of the world, okay, and they apply to everybody. And if you commit one of them crimes, you should get some punishment for it. Yeah. Same sort of thing happens in sport. You've got rules, and if you break them rules, then you get a punishment for it. Okay. The problem occurs when people break the rules and actually they don't get the punishment for it, um, or they project that it's actually somebody else's that's the perpetrator. And what makes that worse is that then the media that tell people about it, they lie about it, okay? And they pretend that actually all of you've got it all wrong. You don't understand. Don't worry your little heads, okay? Because you wouldn't understand this. You are getting it wrong, okay? And this is what the problem is. And when the criminals own the media, then they use this media device to brainwash everybody into believing that they're right all of the time and you just wouldn't know. And this is part of the problem. It's the media matrix owned by the billionaires that they use corruptly to brainwash everybody to believe a falsehood so that they can get away with their wrongdoing. Okay, this is just a beginner's guide for this. I'm not going to get into it too deep because I know some of you won't be able to cope already, because I've not showed you the flashing images, because you've not been able to have some visual stimulation. I know some of you have already I've already switched off, haven't you? I mean, I know you've gone to the comment section already to write TLDR. I think that means too long, didn't read. Okay, you don't have to read anything, kids. I'll talk and I'll explain it to you. Okay. So anyway, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look. Now, what I'm going to explain to you is about the sport. Okay. Now, I know it's not a flashing image. I know it's just a boring document that nobody likes. Adults can read. Okay. I know you kids like a picture. Okay, but adults can read, and this is Lando Norris. Okay, forced another driver off the track, and got a 5-second penalty and 2 penalty points on his licence. And the stewards, okay, one of which was the Great White Hope, Derek Warwick, okay, when he's judging between Lando Norris and the other car, which in this case was Sergio Perez. We're not judging Max Verstappen here, so don't strap on, fanboys. Don't you worry about this. We're not judging Max Verstappen. We're not judging your precious Max. We're judging Lando Norris against Sergio Perez. And the Great White Hope was able to say that having reviewed the evidence, the video evidence that they're able to review, okay, they didn't need to look at the telemetry, they didn't need to review the CCTV footage, they didn't need to make sure it complied with the International Court of Appeal rules of comfort or whatever it is that they've decided, or well, none of that bullshit that they always present in the other ones. And all they needed to decide is at the entry to turn 4, Perez and Norris were side by side, okay? They weren't talking about the race to the apex. They were talking about on entry of turn 4, okay? They were side by side, and on exit, Norris was judged not to give Perez enough room, and Perez was forced off the track. So 2 cars side by side on entry, and on exit, one pushes the other one off the track, okay? So there you go. That's the situation. The car that pushed the other one off the track didn't leave the other one track room on the exit of the corner, gets a 5-second penalty. So that's what I'm going to go. I'm going to show you the video in a minute. Stick with it, okay? You'll see the video. It'll be brilliant, okay? You'll get the flashing images, but I've just got to go through the documents first for the adults, okay? So the next one, also at the Austrian Grand Prix, the home of Red Bull, and this is another incident. Sergio Perez, okay, this is car number 11. We're not talking about Max here, we're talking about Sergio, okay, forcing another driver off the track, okay. And the stewards, again, the Great White Hope, Derek Warwick, was able to review the evidence, and he was able to say at the entry of turn 4, Leclerc and Perez were side by side. He wasn't talking about the race to the apex, okay? And then on exit, Perez was judged to not give Leclerc enough room, and Leclerc was forced off the track. And that's all it is, isn't it? Side by side, okay, on entry to the corner, and on exit, the other one pushed the other one off the track, and the penalty is given to the one that pushed the other one off the track. Now, the car that's given the penalty to didn't leave the track itself. And they're not saying that had actually on this occasion Perez left the track also, then everything would have been fine. No, that's not the way it works, kids, okay? You can push the other car off the track as long as you also go off the track as well. No, because you're not allowed to do that, okay? That would be leaving the track. You're not allowed to complete an overtake if you don't complete the overtake by staying on the track yourself, okay? So that doesn't apply. Also, you're not allowed to gain an advantage by going off the track. And if you are completing an overtake or forcing a car off the track or gaining an advantage by going, the track is the track, okay? And if you go off it, then this is where the problem is, okay? So it's not a case of you can force another car off the track as long as you go off the track as well. No, that's not how it works. Although this is what Karun will try and lie to you about. Anyway, the next one. Let's have a look at the next one. Sergio Perez again. Okay. It's a different. You can see it's a different document because this one is at 15:58 in the race. Okay, that's 3:58 in the afternoon in the race time, and this one here is 15:51. So just 7 minutes after he forced a car off the track the first time, he's forced a car off the track for a second time. I'll show you the video. It's a different incident. It's a different incident. And then once again, the stewards had just reviewed the video. After the 2021 season, the FIA determined that one of the problems with the 2021 season is that they didn't know what they were doing, and they felt that by introducing VAR would help them. Okay, because if you're able to have video evidence to be able to look at in order to assist you in making your refereeing decisions, then that's going to be better, isn't it? Yeah, because they didn't have that in 2021. So they thought they would basically introduce VAR because that's going to help video assistance for making refereeing decisions, which they didn't have in 2021. But this was just the 4th of July 2021, where they reviewed the video evidence. Anyway, at the entry of turn 6, Leclerc and Perez were side by side. Who won the race to the apex? No, it doesn't mention that. Then on exit, Perez was judged to not give Leclerc enough room, and Leclerc was forced off track. So basically, we're saying there's three examples there of two cars being side by side on the entry to a corner, and then on the exit of that corner, one car runs the other car off the track, and they get a penalty for doing so. Okay, next example. This one's a bit different, kids, because I know you're getting bored already. Oh, move on already, because we've seen the same thing 3 times, and it doesn't look well for Max, does it? Oh, move on already, stop crying, stop. Nobody's crying, kids, nobody's crying. I'm just explaining something to you, okay? I'm sorry, I'll need to keep your attention. We'll go back to the flashing image. Is it? Oh, it's a sloth. Woohoo! Yeah. Well, it's a wet day in Belgium, but that's usually on a wet day. How long will they wait? And there's that would help, wouldn't it? If rather than have these runoff areas, they got something like this on the outside of the track, that would solve it all, wouldn't it? It could be that. Or maybe we should have pirates in Formula One. Who knows? What's this one? Or maybe we should turn Formula One into a war. Yeah, where's this one heading? Is this one of the Israeli warships that's defending itself? Who knows? Clockwork. Anyway, what are we looking at? I've lost my thread. Next incident. We've got the. Where's this one at? Is this the same Grand Prix? Back in 2001, 4th of July, America. Fuck yeah, independence. So what have we got here? Kimi Raikkonen causing a collision. So what's he done here? Okay, and he's got again 2 penalty points, and he's got a drive-through penalty. Okay, causing a collision, and you got a drive-through penalty. A drive-through penalty loses you about 20 seconds of race time for causing a collision. Okay, because that's what you will lose by having to drive through the pits. About 20 seconds at most race circuits. It varies, okay, but when the cars are going around the track at full racing speed and you have to drive into the pit lane, go down to 50 mile an hour pit limiter speed, whatever it is, and then come out the pits. Relative to those cars that are going full speed on track, you lose about 20 seconds, approximately. So it's about a 20-second penalty, 2 penalty points on your licence. So the stewards heard from the driver of car 7. This happened on the very last lap of the race. The driver of car 5, team representative, and reviewed the video evidence. I mean, they didn't have VAR. They didn't have the video evidence to review back in 2021 because that's something that they proposed that they needed to introduce to solve the problems of the 2021 season. So they didn't have it to look at back then. So they introduced VAR, but they looked at the video evidence, which they've done for the last 30 or 40 years, being able to review the video footage to then look at the replays, look at the videos and determine what's going on here. I wonder. But they didn't have video assistants to help with their refereeing decisions. Don't you worry your little heads, kids. Don't worry about anything like that. Because I know this is enough of a challenge for you anyway, isn't it? That don't you worry about the adult stuff. You just focus and see if you can get any of them right. See if you can get any of them right, kids, and leave the rest to those of us that can cope with this. Anyway, so what are we doing here? They've heard from the competitors and they've decided that exiting turn 5, Raikkonen closed the door on Vettel, which caused a collision, taking both cars off the track. Okay, so what one car has done is move into the track space of the other car that the other car is entitled to. Okay, closed the door. Now, this isn't running them off the track. This is not determining whether or not you're allowed to run a car off the track, which you're not. This is not deciding whether or not you're allowed to run another car off the track if you yourself run off the track, which you're not. This is saying when you're on the track, you're not allowed to run on another car into another car's space. So remember Silverstone 2021, where Max nearly killed Lewis, that one, yeah. Because you're not allowed to run into another car's space. And we're going to look at the video there to see if Sebastian Vettel hit the apex and whether he nearly killed Kimi Raikkonen there. But the stewards, okay, this was before Silverstone, the stewards determined that Kimi Raikkonen was the one at fault for driving into the track space that was Sebastian Vettel's track space. And who was able to determine that? Well, that also was the great white hope himself, Derek Warwick. So, on from that. Now the bit you've been waiting for. Da, 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 da. We've got some pictures of some cars, but it's not just pictures. These are moving pictures. Crazy shit. So let's have a look. Now, I've had to slow this down to a quarter speed because what happens is when you expose the FIA, when you expose corruption, because they own the material that they use to condition your mind and my mind with their corrupt narrative, when I then use it and show them that this is wrong, they say, you're not allowed to use that because that's ours and we don't want you exposing us. So that's what they do. But I've had to slow it down, and therefore it's fair usage to use as analytical material. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Da, 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 da. Here it is. It's slow. I know it's a bit slow for your kids. And I know you like it all fast moving and flashy, but what we need to pay attention is these two cars on here coming into this corner here. Now, what's the apex? What's the apex? What's the apex? Well, it depends. Okay. If you could take an early apex, which could be there, the start of the corner, which means when you come around this corner, you could clip that point there and come out to there. You might take a wide line in and clip this point here and take a flatter line out the corner. So that would be a late apex. So what's the apex? It's difficult to define, isn't it? Because you could take an early apex or you could take a late apex. Now, what we often use is the midpoint of the corner. Okay, so if we said define this as the midpoint of the corner, when on the racing line, you might choose to do that, but you might not always take that. There's different circumstances. Racing is a dynamic thing. It's not that you are on rails and have to take the same line every time. Okay, so it doesn't matter. You don't even have to clip the apex. It's just there that if you do, then that might help you get around that lap a bit faster, but it's not essential that you do. This is the racetrack. You could take a line that drives around here, around the outside. As long as you're within that white line, you could drive all the way around the outside of that track as long as you're within the white line. You could also drive all the way around the inside of that track as long as you're this side of the white line. As long as you're on the tarmac in between the white lines, you could drive on one side of it or the other, all the way around the track, and that's absolutely fine. It won't give you the fastest time, okay, but you can do it and it's not illegal, okay? So it's not essential that you have to do that, okay? But what the drivers will do, they'll work out the way of making it the fastest way around there, and that's what they'll do. Anyway, focus on these two cars here. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Who's going to win the race to the apex? Oh, it's not relevant, is it? We've got two cars that are side by side on entry. Okay, which car is attacking and which car is defending? Can we decide here which car is attacking and which car is defending? I mean, the stewards weren't bothered about that because they were just saying two cars side by side. Two cars, right? Which car's in the lead? Okay, this car here that's on the outside is in the lead, isn't it? Yeah. Does it matter what happened? This is the replay that they've showed us. This is the replay that F1 TV and that Sky Sports will show us, and then you can see that this is where we start the footage because this is the only bit that's relevant. We didn't need to go back up the road to see who was in the lead back there. This is the only bit that's relevant. So let's have a look. Because there we go. See that F1 bit that they've put on the screen. That's the transition, kids. Oh, we're transitioning, right? So this is the bit that's relevant that they've showed us for the replay. Which car's ahead going into the corner? Well, the car on the outside is the one that's in the lead. Because if this was the finishing line, if this Rolex fancy brand, if the Rolex thing there was, oh, you want a £5 watch, don't you? Because that's useful. Piss away, £5 on a watch. Anyway, if that was the finish line, which car would win? Oh, that would be the car with the yellowy orange nose. That would be the Red Bull car. Yay! Um, Perez would win, so he's in the lead, isn't he? So the car that's in the lead car is Perez, and the car that's trying to then overtake that car for position is the car on the inside. Yeah, we're all happy with that, aren't we? No, nobody's going to contest that, are they? No, so that's right. Got the car in the outside winning, and the car behind on the inside in second. What happens now? They're about to start to go to the corner. Which car's winning? Oh, this one here. Okay. Are they racing to the apex? The stewards weren't worried about that, were they? We've got two cars, okay, going into a corner, and we're saying they're about side by side. They're about side by side, aren't they? Okay. This car is about halfway alongside here or more, so we're saying it's side by side. The nose of this car, the nose, see this bit that this car here, the nose of it is the bit that's painted in orangey yellow. Okay, the rest of the car is the rest of the car, but the nose is the bit that's painted in orangey yellow. Because again, Karun doesn't know the definition of a nose, but we'll have a look at that in the next video. So anyway, side by side, going through the corner now. Nobody knows where the apex is because it could be here, it could be there, it could be there. Okay, but nobody's worried about that. Okay. So the car on the inside, is a car on the inside won the race to the apex? Well, where is the apex? Nobody knows. Let's have a look. Let's have a look again. Let's see if we can determine who won the race to the apex, even though the race to the apex isn't important. Well, at that point there, okay, I would say if we drew a line across the nose of the orange car, the orange car's slightly ahead. Now, it could be argued, you could argue, says Karen, you could argue. Well, we don't need to argue because nobody can define it. But let's say the apex is, let's call it the red bar on the curbing. And they're almost there. And the car that is marginally ahead is the orange car on the inside. So the orange car has won the race to the apex, but it's irrelevant. But we'll carry on anyway. And now it's slightly ahead. And now the car on the outside is trying to come back. And the car on the inside has forced the car on the outside off the track. And the reason it's forced the car on the outside off the track is because the car on the inside, the orange car, moved itself over to that side of the track and onto the... Oh, here we are again. Here we are again, kids. Here we are again. Two cars side by side going into the corner. The orange car now... Okay, this is before the curbing of the corner. We're not reached the apex. We said the apex, we estimated it being this third red block here, isn't it? But even if you drew a line across the front of the nose on the orange car is the bit that's painted black, okay? Because this is called the nose cone and the front wing. So that's the nose. This is the nose here, okay? So have a look here. Have a look. There's the apex. Which one is ahead at the apex? Well, clearly, okay, again, we drew a line through here. If you drew a line through this wheel and across here, oh, them two wheels, if you drew that line through, these two wheels of this car, they're behind that line, aren't they? Which means this car is ahead. Okay, the orange car won the race to the apex. Yay! And so that means it can pick its line on exit and drive the other car off the track. As long as it goes off the track itself, I think Karen said that's okay. So he's driven Perez off the track. Yeah, that's fine because he won the race to the apex. Is that right? Is that fine because he won the race to the apex? Let's have a look at any more angles of this because we need to see more of the replay. I mean, all this would we were told all this week. All this wouldn't be a problem if they put some gravel on the outside so you couldn't do it, Or none of this would be a problem if you just... at the American Grand Prix, none of that would have been a problem if they'd have put gravel on the outside. That's the problem, isn't it? The problem with Verstappen running a car off the track is that there was no gravel on the outside to prevent it from happening. Yeah, so what did the stewards decide to rule there? Well, let's just check. Let's just check. Let's have a look, shall we? That's the Lando Norris Sergio Perez incident, and the stewards, all they had to say about that was, on the entry, Perez and Norris were side by side. Then on exit, Norris was judged not to give Perez enough room and forced Perez off the track. And because of that, what happened here? Norris got a 5-second time penalty. Now, they were able to do that back in 2021 without the assistance of video evidence to be able to review to determine that. They were skilled lads back then. Okay, maybe the Great White Hope is losing it. Who knows? Because he could do it back then when it didn't involve Max Verstappen. But yeah, maybe the senile old twat just can't manage it now. Who knows? Who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Anyway, next, let's have a look. What we see in here? Transition! A replay again. So they're going to show us the relevant bit. We're going to show what's happening here. The relevant bit. I don't know whether these cars, one was trying to take the other earlier on, but they're saying this is the relevant thing that we need to consider. Which car is in the lead? Which car is in the lead? Can we determine which car is in the lead? I don't know. And is the car that's in the lead? Wait there. Is the car in the lead? And which one is it? Can anybody know? Tell me which car is in the lead. Would it be this one on the outside? This car on the outside. I call it the outside because this is the inside where the curbing is, right? Is it that one? I don't know where the outside or the inside is. Who knows? Let's just say it's the one that's in the middle of the track that's in the lead. The one with the yellow nose here at the bottom of the screen here. And let's just say that that's in the lead by a nose. Okay, because Karen would think that this is a nose. Now, the nose is the yellow bit of this car, or this little pointy bit on the front of the red car, the Ferrari. That's the nose. Okay, and can you see that this car here is just in the lead by just the nose of the car? It's not in the lead by at least a full car length. No, it's just in the lead by the nose. So nobody knows who's in the lead. Okay, but this car's in the lead. Okay, this is the relevant bit. Let's have a look. So we're coming. Oh, Rolex. Oh, piss away £5 on a watch, everybody. Wait there. Let's have a look. Let's see who would have won if that had been the finish line. Let's have a look. Oh, the car in the lead would have won. This one here, the one with the nose. There you go. The car that is the nose. The car is coming round the outside. Which one wins the race to the apex? Oh, who's winning the race to the apex? Who's winning the race to the apex? Oh, it's a car on the outside winning the race to the apex there. That's a different one, isn't it? On the first one, the car on the inside won the race to the apex. On the second one, the car on the outside won the race to the apex. Oh, it's a different situation. Crazy. Let's have a look again. I've got the race to the apex, because the stewards will tell you all about the race to the apex. I think I've done it to the wrong place. I've got it wrong. Why is this not? Why is? Oh, there we go. Let's have a look. There we go. Are we saying this is the apex? The red car's in the lead by a bit more than a nose. Okay. How big is your nose? Let's have a look. The red car's still in the lead by the same defined point that we used the previous time. You know, we said it was the red bit of curbing that you now can't see because Perez's wheels are in line with it. Well, if you drew a line through the wheels, well, that line would go again in front of Perez's wheels. So this time, the red car on the outside is in the lead. So the first time, the orange car on the inside was in the lead. The second time, the red car on the outside is in the lead. What's the difference? On exit of the corner, the car on the inside pushes the car on the outside off the track. You can see the car on the inside. Okay, it's over the white line itself. So the car on the outside can't be inside the white line, can it? Otherwise, no, then two cars hit each other. Two cars can't occupy the same space at the same time. Funny that, isn't it? Funny that. What did the stewards have to say about that? let's have a look. Let's have a look what the stewards have to say about that one. Let's have a look. It's on this one here. Sergio Perez again. He was a car on the inside with the yellow nose, and the car on the outside was Charles Leclerc. And the stewards have again looked at the video evidence. It's incredible they were able to do that without VAR assistance, but they were able to look at the video evidence and they able to judge that on the entry of turn 4, Leclerc and Perez were side by side. Oh, which one? Which one was ahead? Which one was ahead by a nose? Who won the race to the apex? Uh, oh, they didn't have the technology to define that back then, that nobody could see. Okay, and so then on the exit, Perez was judged. Okay, they had to judge this. They needed to put this in front of a judge with a wig and a hammer and a little order, order, order. I'm judging because none of us have the capacity to do that. None of us can determine what's the difference between right and wrong or be able to see the situation for what it is. That's a legal matter. But don't you worry your little heads when it comes to the legal matters, because all you need to know about legal matters is you need to get a solicitor or a lawyer, because only they can understand the law, and you have to fuck them $5,000 and they'll tell you, ooh, yeah, this could go either way. Oh, nobody knows. The judge could say this, or the judge could say that. But that's why I'm worth $5,000. So keep feeding me the money. Keep feeding me the money, and I'll try and make you an argument that will help you win. It's not based on truth. It's not based on what's the difference between right and wrong. It's all about paying the lawyer money to win the argument, and the judge pretends that this whole facade is all part of the process. Okay, that's the legal system. Anyway, don't you worry, little heads, about law. Okay, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Anyway, so the stewards, having reviewed the video evidence without the assistance of VAR, so what have they done? What have they done? They've decided that the cars were side by side, and then on the exit, Perez was judged not to give Leclerc enough room, and Leclerc was forced off the track. And for that, Sergio Perez was given a 5-second time penalty and 2 penalty points on his licence. Turn 1 of the US Grand Prix. Max Verstappen went into that with too much pace. They were side by side on entry. In fact, Max was behind. But on the exit, Max Verstappen didn't leave room for Lando Norris. Nothing to see here. They didn't have VAR. They didn't have the technology. They didn't have a judge. Also in the US Grand Prix, the incident that we're going to go and talk about, that Karen's going to lie to us about. They didn't have the VAR to, again, because they thought it would be a good idea back in 2021, but they still haven't got it. Still haven't got the overlay graphics to actually show us accurately what the parameters are, how it's defined, or anything like that. No, still haven't done that. That was then. But Perez got a two penalty points on his licence and a 5-second penalty. And then in the same race, he gets another 2 penalty points. So 4 penalty points on his super licence from one Grand Prix. How many super licence points did Max get from the US Grand Prix for them 2 offences? I've jumped the gun, haven't I? Let's not talk about guns. Let's not talk about guns, because there'll be people that have got more guns than everybody else, and they'll just dominate you with tyranny. Yeah, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who is that? America, fuck yeah. Don't you worry, little heads. Vanguard, BlackRock, the ones that rule the world, that own all the weapons manufacturers. Don't you worry about that. That's fine. They rule the world with tyranny. Never mind. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. It's a democracy. It's a democracy. And it's just free market capitalism. Because if it's not that, it's communism, and you just know how bad that is, don't you? That's going to ruin the world. Anyway, let's have a look at the next incident. Let's have a look. Oh, we're still on this one. Perez has just forced the red car off the track there. I know it's a bit slow. I know it's not exciting when it's slow, but sometimes it helps if we slow it down, because that gives us a better impression of the actual situation. If it's all moving too fast and it's just flashing images and transitions, then nobody really knows what's going on. But it's all exciting, and we can just carry on and move on and keep spending our money at the next thing. Oh, that's great, isn't it? But if you slow it down and actually have a look what's going on, you get to see what's going on. And then you can see this guy's steering his car, trying to take a tight line, and then he's seeing that there's a car there. There's a car there, and he's having to move off the track. Oh, he's been pushed off the track by this car here that's left him no room on the track. Would that have been okay if Perez himself had driven off the track as well? Let me know what you think in the comments section, Karen. Okay, so this is again replay. Oh, it's boring, isn't it? It's boring when you just get the same thing replayed time and time again. Move on already. Stop crying. Move on already. This is 2029. Everybody, move on already. You're still crying about it. You're still crying about it. Nobody's crying, Colin. Nobody's crying. I'm just showing you some things. I'm just showing you things so you get to have a look. Okay. So the next one, here we are. Here's the next one. Here's the next one. What's happening now? What's up? Transition. Next one. Here we go. Here we go. Sergio Perez, the car on the inside. Right. Stop. There it is. Stop. I need to go back a bit because we need to see which car is in the lead. So again, the replay, the transition, they're going to show us the bit that's important that we need to look at. Let's have a look. Which car is in the lead? Can anybody know? And which car's trying to overtake the one that's in the lead? Which one's trying to overtake the one that's in the car that's in the? If there was one of them Rolex banners, right, that they were just driving in now, and that was the start finish line, okay. Crypto, yay! Crypto, give us your money to invest in something that's fake. Yeah, oh no, forget that. Don't worry about that. Yeah, what we got here? Pretend it's Rolex. Rolex is good. Anyway, if you were driving your car and the Rolex banner that was going to be the start finish line was there, and they crossed the line like that, who would be the winner? I think this one here with the see this yellow bit on the front, that's the nose. That would be the one that would be winning. So let's say this one's in front, shall we? Let's just say that this one's in front and the red car's trying to overtake it. It would help if we had video assistance, wouldn't it, to be able to determine that? But you know, we've just got to guess because none of us can determine that. Maybe a judge would, but we can't. Let's have a look. Maybe if you've got a lawyer, then the lawyer could argue that the red car was in the lead there. Who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments section. But let's have a look what this incident is. So we're going around a corner. Where's the apex? 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 Oh, has somebody hit the apex? Has he hit the apex? Because I've not seen anybody hit the apex. I've seen him stay wide of that white line all the way around that corner. Where's the apex? Where's the apex? I couldn't see. Right, I've got that wrong. I couldn't see. I need to know where the apex is. Where's the apex? And somebody tell me where the apex is around here, and tell me where he hits the apex, and which car's in the lead, and who wins the race to the apex. Where's the apex? Where's the apex? Has he hit the apex? Has he hit the white line, or is there some space in between the car and the white line? But if it have hit the apex, then it wouldn't have been a problem, I think. But I don't know where the apex is. Who won the race to the apex? Well, from what I saw, the car on the inside going around closest to the curbing, but because he didn't hit the curbing, that meant that there was an accident there, didn't it? That meant that there was a big collision and one car nearly killed the other car. No, it didn't. Just meant that the car on the outside kept his distance away from the other one and didn't drive into the other car. But anyway, what's going on now? They're now moving away from the curbing because they're on exit of that corner. The red car on the outside has never been ahead. It started behind. It's still behind. It's never been ahead. Let's just double check. Okay, maybe a solicitor or a lawyer could argue this differently, but the way I see it, and well, I mean, what would I know? I mean, I've not got a law degree. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a barrister. I'm not a judge. But I mean, I wouldn't. So therefore, legally, I wouldn't know, would I? But the way, you know, without being able to review the evidence and the video assistance and all that, all I can have a look at is by saying it looks to me that the car, this one here, the Red Bull car with the yellow nose. That one I think is in the lead. But if I'm wrong, let me know what you think in the comments section and we can have an argument about it. And the red car on the outside is not in the lead. And we're coming a bit more. The the Red Bull car is still in the lead, and the red car is not in the lead, and the Red Bull car is still in the lead, and the Ferrari is not in the lead, and the Red Bull car is still in the lead, and the Ferrari is not in the lead, and the Red Bull car is still in the lead, and the red Ferrari still not in the lead, is it? Let's have a look. Oh, are they about level? Who knows? The cars are at a slightly different angle, aren't they? Because if you drew the line there, that's going along there. This one's coming out here. Yeah, you'd say that the car on the outside is driving towards the outside of the track there, isn't it? You see the trajectory, that's a big word, isn't it? Okay, the direction that car is heading, hopefully that'll help us. The direction that the red car is heading, okay, trajectory, that appears, they don't appear to be running parallel to each other, okay? Okay, like a train track, one rail being exactly parallel, okay, exactly in line with the other one, yeah. They don't appear to be doing that. The red one appears to be pointing towards more this side of the track, the outside, and the one on the inside, not so much. But difficult to say. Almost level there. Difficult to say, but I'd still say the Red Bull car still in the lead. Where's the apex? Where's the current? Who's winning? Are they about side by side? They're about. I would say they're about level now, but who knows? Where's the apex? Where's the apex? Who's hit the apex? Who reached the apex first? I don't know. They're about level now. What's going on now? What's going on now? Who's entitled to run the other car off the track now? Who's entitled to run the other car off the track now? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Which car's allowed to run the other car off the track now? Can a judge tell me which car's allowed to run the other car off the track? The Red Bull. The Red Bulls ran this. This wouldn't be a problem if there wasn't a runoff area. By having a runoff area, it means the cars are allowed to do that. This would all be solved if they put some gravel on the outside there, wouldn't it? All be solved. This is the problem. The problem isn't with the drivers. The problem isn't with Max Verstappen. The problem's with the track. They should have gravel there, and then this sort of thing wouldn't happen. Anyway, so the car on the inside, we say it's on the inside, the car that's now left on the track. But it would have been okay if it had also driven off the track itself, I think. But that's now over the white line. So if the red car tried to be on the tarmac, which is over on that side of the white line, two cars occupying the same space at the same time means crash. Okay. I've not got a picture of what a crash looks like, so I know some of you won't understand that. Okay, I'll show you instead, rather than show you a picture of what a crash looks like. I'll show you a picture that you might. That's a picture of a wet day in Belgium. Oh, the sloth. That's when they're moving really slow. You'll like that one, won't you? But what did the steward say? What did the steward say? Having a look at that one. So the steward's on this one. So this is the second one. Not the first one. The first one where Perez ran him off the track, that was this one. That was a 5-second time penalty and 2 penalty points. That was at 15:51. The second time was at 15:58, and that was another 5-second penalty and 2 penalty points. Who was it for this time? And the stewards, without the assistance of VAR, were able, with Derek Warwick, Great White Hope there, without the assistance of VAR, was able that on the entry to turn 6, Leclerc and Perez were side by side. Were they? Were they side by side? And then on exit, Perez was judged not to give Leclerc enough room, and Leclerc was forced off the track. I thought he was allowed to as long. Oh no, I got it wrong. Perez didn't run off the track himself, so that's where the problem is. If Perez would have run off the track, that would have been fine. I'm not sure. Were they side by side on entry to that corner? Let's. I've got a time machine here. I've got a time machine. It must be the year 3000, where not much has changed, but they live underwater. And your great granddaughter is pretty fine. But I've got a time machine like one in the films that I've seen. But we'll have a look. Are they side by side? Are they side by side as the trailer park girl goes around the outside? I would say one car's in the lead there. One car's in the lead. The red car and the blue car had a race. I would say, I mean, again, I'm not a judge, I'm not a lawyer, so who am I to say? But I would say that the blue car's in the lead, the one with the yellow nose. I'd say the blue car's in the lead. I'd say the blue car's in the lead. I'd say the blue car's in the lead up until that point there where they're about side by side. Okay, which personally, because this curbing for the corner is coming to an end, I'd personally say that's the end of the corner. But I'm not steward. I'm not steward. But the stewards will tell you that they're side by side. And then on the exit, Perez was judged not to give Leclerc enough room, and Leclerc was forced off the track. And so they gave Perez another 2-second penalty. 4 penalty points in a race. You couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make it up. But the reason they didn't give a 10-second penalty, as they'll tell us here in the steward's document, is that Perez was under control and kept his car on the track. Yeah, Perez was under control and kept his car on the track, so they're just going to give him 5 seconds, not 10 seconds. Anyway, let's have a look at the next one. Let's have a look. Yeah, but again, part of the problem is the runoff areas. It's the track's fault, because if the track made sure there was gravel there, then there wouldn't be a problem with the no problem, and that solved it. So next. Oh, we've got the onboards now. We've got Sergio Perez side by side with the red car. Which one's in the lead? Which car's in the lead? This is Sergio Perez. Which car's in the lead? Because we can see the Ferrari on his outside, side by side with it, can't we? Which car's in the? There's one side by side with it as we're exiting the corner now, and there's Perez driving off the track. Yeah, there's Perez driving his front right wheel off the track. If it had gone all the way off the track, he's allowed to do that. Apparently, he's allowed to drive off the track and drive the other car off the track. Apparently, Karen tells us that. Karen's telling your kids that he's allowed to. Karen's lying to your children. Karen's radicalising your children, lying, conditioning to perpetrate the false narrative. Yeah, Karen's doing that. Karen's being paid, over 100 grand a year, living it up, living a great lifestyle to lie to your children. That's what Karen's doing. That's fine. That's not a problem. This is the Charles Leclerc. Charles level. No, he's not. Charles level. No, he's not. Now Charles level. Is that on entry? Where does the corner start? Where does the corner start? Because the stewards are telling us that they're level on entry. Has that corner started yet? The corner's starting now. You can all see the corner's just starting. So the cars are level now that they're going into the corner. Yeah, he's been forced off the track there, hasn't he? But that wouldn't be okay. Sorry, that wouldn't have happened if there'd have been gravel there. So that's what the problem is. The problem we've got there. None of these drivers would be able to do this if there was gravel there. I have to say this several times, because I know that if you just say it once, then people don't believe it. I noticed that from Abu Dhabi when they lied in those 5 laps leading up to the fix. Where Martin Brundle would have to tell us 3 times that that's not the rules, that's not the regulations. Do they let the lapped cars through? I don't think it's mandatory in the regulations, but that's normally on a wet day in Belgium. Are they going to let the lapped cars through? I don't think that's mandatory, but that's normally on a wet day in Belgium. Are they going to let those lapped cars through? I don't think that's mandatory, but that's normally on a wet day in Belgium. And in between Hamilton and Verstappen is 5 cars, and in between Hamilton and Verstappen is the 5 cars, and in between Hamilton and Verstappen is the 5 cars. So there's 8 cars that need to be unlapped, but you told us 3 times it was just the 5 cars. And if they do let them through, which is not mandatory, because it's only because maybe they don't on a wet day in Belgium. But if they do, how long will they wait? And how long will they wait? And how? It's a rule of 3s, because 3 is the magic number. I'm probably doing this more than 3, just so you actually get it this time. Anyway, let's have a look. This is a different one. This is a different one. Bit more exciting. This one. Bit more exciting. What are we having a look at? What are we having a look at? Kimi Raikkonen. Everybody likes Kimi. Everybody's favourite driver, Kimi. Here he is, turned into a corner. Uh, oh, has he hit the apex? Oh, has he hit the? Did he hit the? Where's the apex and where's the curbing? Okay, what's going on there? Has he nearly killed somebody because he didn't hit the apex? Did he try to assassinate somebody here because he didn't hit the curbing? Is it understeer? Understeer? Has he locked up there? Did we see him lock up? Does locking up mean that he understeers out to the other side because he's carried so much extra speed into there? I wonder. I mean, we all saw Lewis Hamilton understeering, even though he didn't even get to the corner before he got hit. So we can't tell whether or not the steering angle that Hamilton had selected would have enabled him to make it around that corner. So we can't judge whether it was understeer. But Karoon will tell you it's understeer. But what we can detect here is Kimi going into the corner. With a steering angle. Oh, that puff of smoke is the wheel locking up. Okay, and whilst he might have been on course for clipping the white line on the edge of the track, because he's carried in too much speed or because he's not braked appropriately, that extra speed has drifted him wide of there, because carrying in too much speed into a corner means that you don't take the line around the corner that you're intending, and he's then kept to the right of this white line, and because you've done that, that means you've tried to kill somebody, and it's an inevitable crash, and you put somebody into the barriers at 51. See them barriers there? It means that you've tried to kill somebody and throw somebody into there at 51G, doesn't it? Anyway, so Kimi's now driving, and look where Kimi's looking. Where's Kimi looking? He's driving around the outside like the trailer park girl again. And what's he doing now? He's having a look. He's having a look in his mirror. Okay, that's his head's here, and he's having a look, and he's moving his steering wheel over there. Now this car here that's on the outside, the other trailer park girl going around the outside, he's staying quite wide round here. There's another kink in the road. Are we calling that a straight or are we calling that a corner? Who knows? Let me know what you think. Where's the apex to that? Let me know what you think. Oh, that car's moving across there. Oh, there's a car on the inside here. There's a car coming up on the inside. Are they side by side? Which one's in the lead? Nobody knows, because we can't determine that, because none of us are lawyers or judges, and we've not got VAR to be able to help us. Oh, there's a car there, Kimi. What are you doing? There's a car there, Kimi. What are you doing? Why have you still got that steering angle on, Kimi, when there's a car there? What are you doing, Kimi? Oh, it's hit you there, hasn't it, Kimi? Has it hit you? Are you the victim there, Kimi? Has he got to give that place back? Has he got to give that place back, Kimi, because you're the victim there? Or did you have all this room to your left-hand side to drive your car in, knowing that there's a car at the inside, and you've just driven into its space, Kimi? Let me know what you think in the comments section there, Kimi. So you've driven across into the space that car was trying to be on, and it's caused a crash. But the stewards don't look at the outcome of that situation when applying the penalty. They just look at the infringement itself. They don't care about what damage is done. They just look at the action itself, because the damage done isn't important. That's why he got a 20-second penalty, because they're not considering that at all. They're not considering that he's obliterated that guy's race. So now we're looking at Sebastian Vettel's angle. He's seen the car, see these puffs of smoke, okay? That's because they've locked their brakes. That means the tyre has come to a standstill, and that's friction, that's abrasion, that's one surface scraping over the other, causing heat, causing wear, causing abrasion, and it locks up and causes that. And that means that the car then slides on slightly out of control and therefore doesn't take the line that it was intending around the corner. Okay, that could be described as understeer, because you've got a steering angle designed to take him around that corner on that line, and in doing that, he doesn't manage to make that line, and so therefore The car's action doesn't match the steering input, okay? The car doesn't steer as much as the steering input is. That's understeer. And understeer is caused by carrying too much speed into a corner or not getting your braking force right in order to get that line right. Anyway, Karen will explain that. We'll have a look here. What's Seb doing? Oh, Seb is about to hit the white line, isn't he? Seb's not going to kill anybody here. Oh, he's actually gone over the curb, hasn't he? He's actually taken a big part of the curb. Imagine that. Two drivers taking a different approach to a corner. You couldn't make it up, could you? So they're going around here. One car's on the outside. We've got a car on the inside. Who won the race to the apex? I don't know. Don't know there. It's all about who win. If you win the race to the apex, then you're allowed to run the other car off the track, aren't you? I think Karen will tell you that you're allowed to run the other car off the track if you win the race to the apex. Don't know who won the race to that apex out of Kimi. So look at Sebastian's steering input now. Sebastian Vettel's steering input. See the angle of his steering wheel and see where the track goes. See this bit, this straight here that we're looking at, the straight that you're just looking at there, the apex of the straight there. Where see the green where if there wasn't the run-off area, if there's some grass there, or there was some there's some rubble there, you know, maybe we should get like a dumper truck or something like that for them to run in, because then there wouldn't be a problem. Go and look back at the 2014 Japanese Grand Prix, where we'll just have a dumper truck there. That'll mean that there'll be no problem, won't it? Let's do that. And so he's aiming at this straight here. That's not a straight. That's the bend. His steering angle is aiming his car towards that. What's happening now? Okay, the speed means that despite the steering angle, he's going around a track. Oh, he's going around a track and he's getting. Oh, what's happened now? He's having to counter steer. His steering's just jolted because what did he do there? Did he just have a waggle just for fun? Let's have a look there for a minute. Let's have a look. So he's going around here and he's aiming to. Oh, he's added a waggle again. Let's have a look. So he's trying to just go around the track. He doesn't have to be over to this white line here. He doesn't have to be over. Well, he does. He's not allowed to be over to this because there's a car on his outside. So he's not allowed to be over that one. He doesn't have to be at this one here, but he's on track and there's enough space for the other car outside of him. Oh, but is he nearly killing somebody by not touching the white line? No. He's not nearly killing somebody by not being by the white line. He's maintaining his steering angle. He's not nearly killing anybody by not touching the white line. Okay, round a fast bend. He's not nearly killing anybody by not hitting the apex. What's happening here? Steering angle's there. Oh, what's happening now? He's changed it. What's happening? Oh, somebody's hit him, and that's unsettled his car. Okay, and that's changed his trajectory. And now he's drifted out away from that corner, hasn't he? He's drifted out away from the corner because somebody's hit his car. Yeah, and now that happens. Oh, but if there'd have been if there was a runoff area, that's the problem. You know, this is the problem. If there's a runoff area there, the drivers do that and they know they can get away with it. But if there's gravel there, then that sort of or grass there, then that sort of thing wouldn't happen. Let's have a look again. Let's see who wins the race to the apex. I can't tell. Who would have won if the Rolex banner there would have been the start finish line? Nobody locked up there. Nobody was carrying in so much extra speed that they didn't get it under control under braking properly, causing them to run wide, giving the chance for the other guy. Which one's the attacking car now, and which one's the defending car? Which one's the attacking car? Is the car on the outside the attacking car? Okay, the one that's in the lead, is that the one that's attacking? Or is the one that's behind it, is that the one that's attacking? Nobody knows. So the car, which one's on the inside? Which one's winning the race to the apex? Oh, it's not an apex. Is it an apex? Is it not an apex? Is it a curve? Is it a straight? Nobody knows. Okay, which one's in the lead now? Nobody knows. Which one's winning the race to the apex there? Which one's hitting the apex? For not hitting the apex, who's nearly killed the other one at 51G? Nobody. Who's moved away from the apex? Or who is the one that's just got all this room to the left-hand side and not using it, knowing that there's a car on their inside? Who's causing that problem? Let's have a look what the judges think in the comments section. Let's have a look what the judges think. Let's have a look. So what the judges think that the stewards heard from the driver of car 7 and the driver of car 5. You know, they had to hear what people said, the he said, she said crowd, because why was that? Because they didn't have the video evidence, so they had to rely on people's honest testimony of this. They couldn't say, you're lying, because here's the facts, here's the proof that you're lying. We have to believe the words of liars. So we had to hear from the driver of car 7, and we had to hear from the driver of car 5, and the team representative. They're lawyers that are representing them, okay? Because the people presenting themselves can't present themselves. They had to get a legal representative, okay? So they had to do that. And then what happened there? They then reviewed the evidence. The video evidence that didn't exist back then, because that was in the olden days, back when things used to be in black and white, before there were any grey areas, you know, when things were clear and black and white. You know how it is. You know how it is. Anyway, exiting turn 5, Raikkonen closed the door on Vettel, which caused a collision, taking both cars off track. What does closing the door mean? Does that mean moving into the space that the other car is entitled to on that track? Is this only around corners, or is it around the entire racetrack? Does that only apply on a wet day in Belgium? Is that the wet day in Belgium rules? Does this only apply? Does this only apply to circuits where they've got gravel runoffs areas or grass? Does it apply where the circuit is completely enclosed by Armco barriers like Monaco, where there are no runoff areas? Oh, it's okay if you run the other driver off the track there in Monaco where there is no runoff, but it's okay for you to do that there as long as you yourself don't run off that track. How does that one work? I haven't worked that one out yet. I'm trying. Okay, maybe I need to do. Maybe I need to be able to come. Actually, I can't. I will never be able to work that out, and the reason I'll never be able to work that one out is because I wasn't a Formula One driver myself. So therefore, I'll never know, will I? I'll never know that one. What would I know? Because I was never a Formula One driver. So clearly, I've got no clue whatsoever. So anyway, what are we doing here? Let's have a look. So they heard from the drivers. They reviewed the video evidence, and they said it's called closing the door, and that caused the collision, taking both cars off track. So closing the door. Okay, I think a good description of closing the door would be, let's have a look to see if we can work out what closing the door is. Let's see what they mean by closing the door by looking at the video evidence that doesn't exist, and the VAR system that didn't exist. We'll have a look. We'll see if we can decide what closing the door means. Okay, so 2 cars on track. Which one's at the apex? Which one's on the inside? Oh, is it just 2 cars on track? What do you do when 2 cars are on track? Who's won the race to the apex? Where's the apex? Where's the curbing? Where's the white lights? Who knows? 2 cars on track. Okay. Which one's closing the door on the other one? Is one car driving into the space of the other car? Did one car leave the other car 3.4 metres of the track width, as the lad that likes to make cartoons tells you? How much track width have we got here? Are 2 cars side by side and expected to adjust their position relative to one another on that track, leaving each other track room, not forcing the other one off the track? And if you actually steer your car into the line that the other car is in or on, you're the one that's closing the door on that car. Because as we've seen from the previous footage, it was Kimi Raikkonen that steered his car across onto Sebastian Vettel's car, wasn't it? Sebastian Vettel's steering angle was to make it around this curve here. He didn't hit the apex, sorry, it's a straight, isn't it? It's a straight that none of us can tell it's actually a curve. It's a straight, so he had his steering wheel straight, didn't he? No, he had his steering wheel to turn to the right, so he was steering around to the right, yeah? That wasn't the problem. It didn't matter that he was drifting away from the white line. He was still steering around that corner. And what happened is the car on the outside, with all this space to its outside, it steered more to the right than it should have done and drove into the car that was on its inside. That is called closing the door. But that's fine. You could, if it had actually just ran him off the track and ran off track himself, that would have been fine because the drivers' standards regulations that Karun has finally revealed tell us that there's no rule. The rules don't say that you have to stay on track yourself if you're running the other driver off the track. Let's have a look anyway. Let's carry on with this because I know I've lost some of you already about an hour ago. You've gone back to the battleship picture, haven't you? You've gone back to the picture of the sloth and the man on the moon. Anyway, let's see if we can stay focused on the motor racing incident there. So Sebastian Vettel. Shall we make it a frame by frame to see who's doing something wrong this frame, but then in the next frame who's doing something wrong there? And should we analyse it? Oh, in this frame he's okay, but in the next frame it's changed and now he's the one that's in the lead. Oh, so now that he's in the lead in this frame, then this now becomes the problem. Shall we do it that way? Or shall we just look at it as if it's a motor race that's taking place? These cars at speeds in excess of 100 miles an hour, and therefore you look at the overall picture of what's going on. What should we do there? Let me know what you think in the comment. Or shall we judge it on a frame by frame basis? On this frame, this car has got a willy length ahead, and on the next frame, the other car has got a willy length ahead. Oh, so now that this car's ahead, now it's completely different, isn't it? Now it's different rules apply. Who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments section, or do we just look at what the stewards did back then in the good old days, where they go, well, on entry to the corner they were doing this, and on exit to the corner he didn't leave him room. Oh, but we've changed it for Verstappen rules, the frame by frame to justify Max Verstappen. As long as you freeze this in 2 frames times and you now find that Max Verstappen has won the race to the apex, the rules are now different. Again, them rules, they wouldn't be a problem if they'd got gravel on the outside of the circuits, because that would mean they wouldn't do that, wouldn't it? That would mean they wouldn't do that, and all the problems are solved and nobody gets a 20-second penalty. And here's another incident. Can we see who's in the lead and who's not, and who's in the lead by the length of a nose? So we've got a car that's in the lead and a car that's behind it. Nobody knows which one is in the lead, which one's the attacking car, and which I think the car, this one here with the yellowy orange nose, I think that one's the one that's doing the attacking. Let me know in the comments section if you think otherwise, and we'll have an argument about it. But I think the car on the outside, on the inside doesn't matter. But the car that's in the lead here, I think that's the one that's doing the attacking. And then what happens here is got a car that's on the inside that's then winning the race to the apex. Won the race to the... the red cars won the race to the apex. Or were they side by side on entry to the corner? Let's have a look. Were the cars side by side on entry to the corner? You can do this yourself. Are they about side by side on entry to the corner? Well, there's the 50-meter board. Where did they enter the corner? Where did they enter the corner back in Austria? In the Lando Norris, Sergio Perez example. Where was the entry of the corner then? Oh, shall we say they're about side by side on the entry of the corner, shall we? Yeah, let's say approximately side by side. Who won the race to the apex? Because the stewards think it's important to win the race to the apex. The red car won the race to the apex. And then on exit of the corner, did the red car leave track room for the car on the outside? I can't tell. Let me know what you think if the car on the outside left room. But again, the problem here is not the cars leaving one room for one another. It's if there'd been gravel there, it wouldn't have happened. And then the car on the inside's gone off track itself, which means it's okay. Because had he stayed on track and pushed the other car off track, then that's the problem, as Karen will tell you. But because he's gone off the track himself, because the rules don't state that it makes no provision for the car on the inside going off track that won the race to the apex. That can go off track fine because the rules don't say that you can't. So then you can go round here and who's rejoined in the lead and who's lost position. Oh, the car that was in the lead maintains position. Oh, there's not a problem there, is there? There's not a problem there. That's okay. What did the steward say about that? Oh, nothing. Nothing on that one. There's no steward's document about that one. A car did push the other one off the road. Yeah, but because the car that was pushed off the road and that was in the lead before the corner was able to rejoin, still in the lead, they decided to take no further action, even though it's still a fact that the car that attempted the overtaking manoeuvre pushed the other car off track, which is the infringement. Because the car that was in the lead rejoined in the lead, they took no further action. That's what happened. Anyway, let's have a look at this one. So let's see if we can work out who's in the lead on this one. Let's have a look. Oh, they're side by side. Who's in the lead? Who's in the lead? Who's in the lead? Oh, they only show us this angle. I think, let me know what you think. I think the car that's in the lead is the orange car. That's the car that's in the lead. Okay, we can see other angles that they now show us because they hid them initially, but they can now show us that the orange car is a nose ahead. If you've got a 5 meter long nose, the orange car is just a nose ahead of that, so that's in the lead. And again, if we've got a Rolex banner here, that would be the finish line. Which car would win at this moment when they cross the Rolex banner? That would be the orange car because that's in the lead. I mean, if you don't know, if you're not sure about this, you can look over to the graphic here, generated by the sport itself, by Formula One, that tells you Norris there. That's the car that's in the lead out of these two. That's in third, and Verstappen's in fourth. So the car that's in the lead here is ahead of the car that's in third is ahead of the car that's in fourth. So what's going on now? The car that's in fourth is trying to make itself level to attack the car that's in front of it. Where on entry to the corner, the cars are side by side. Which one's in the lead? But on entry to the corner, the cars are side by side. The stewards will tell you on entry to the corner, the cars are side by side. Oh no, we're just entering the corner now. We weren't entering the corner back there. It's only now that we're entering the corner, isn't it? Because nobody knows where we're entering the corner. You know, it's nothing to do with the braking zone or being able to pick where we're entering the corner now. The cars are side by side. Who wins the race to the apex from being side by side? We've won the race to the apex from being side by side. Now that he's won the race to the apex, he can just run the other car off track. There you go. He's forced the other car off track. Normally, if you force the other car off track, then you get a 5-second penalty and 2 penalty points. But on this occasion, right, because he's gone off track himself and the regulations don't say otherwise, then that's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine because he's run off the track himself and the regulations don't say that. That's fine. And now the car that was in the lead going into the corner has rejoined the track, still in the lead, and on this occasion, the stewards have decided that he's overtaken by going off the track. On this occasion, it's the orange car's fault. It's funny how the law works, isn't it? It's funny how the law works. The law's an ass, they'll tell you. Yeah, this is the law. Nobody knows what it is. It all depends how much money you've got and how much you can spend on your lawyer that's going to determine what the truth is. Yeah, this is the world that we live in, everybody, and this is the values that they're trying to condition you to believe in. This is the year 2024, and this is the values that these corrupt bastards running this show are trying to condition your minds to accept. Understand that. If you're still here, then you're one of the very, very few that will have watched this video to the end and will be able to understand the damage that this sport is actually doing. It is sheer filth. This is being done by the entire show of Formula One. The entire show of Formula One is controlled by Liberty Media, and they made $4.8 billion by doing this sort of thing in 2021. They made $4.8 billion by doing this, and they do this by controlling the governing body of the sport, the FIA, okay, who get their money from this show. Okay, they get the biggest proportion of their income from this show of Formula One. So they do what the show tells them to do. It is perpetrated by all 10 teams not objecting to it strongly enough. Not all standing up and saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is not acceptable. This is not the rules of the sport. Okay, this is completely unacceptable. But they don't do that. Instead of doing that, they are just complicit with it. They accept it. And the reason that they accept it is because they all make a lot of money out of it. And because the sport, the show, by attracting a bigger audience, by attracting children, okay, to teach children about values in this manner, because it did that, they all make more money out of it now. There's more money associated with this sport with having a bigger audience, so they make more money. And all of these teams now just shut up and take more money. They don't care about integrity, they care about money. And that is all this is about. It's about money. Nothing to do with integrity, money. So the teams are complicit, and then the media, who are contracted to inform us about what is going on, just lie to us about it. They lie to us to validate it, and they make money out of it. The people put in front of us to lie to us and not explain it clearly and just explain a pack of lies to validate it, they are making huge sums of money. Now, who owns Liberty Media? Ultimately, Liberty Media is owned by massive financial institutions, BlackRock, Vanguard from America. Fuck yeah. Okay? Vanguard, BlackRock own everything in this world. They own Comcast. Who do Comcast own? They own Sky Sports F1. The people that are paid to lie to us about this. This is the problem. This is the problem. Oh, Vanguard and BlackRock, they also own the weapons companies that manufacture all of the arms for the conflicts that are created. They own all the pharmaceutical companies that make all the vaccines for the medical conditions that we are subjected to. They own all the media that tell us how things are in this world, the narrative that they want to explain us. Oh, this is how things are. This is the reality. This is your only alternative. Free market capitalism is your only alternative. Because if it's not for that, it's authoritarianism. Capitalism is your only alternative to us, the free West. And anything that is not the free West is a threat to Western democracy. So their media will condition your mind. Funny that, isn't it? Oh, I better stop now, because now I'm starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, aren't I? Yeah, I'm the one that's starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist, suggesting that the likes of BlackRock and Vanguard, really wealthy white men, billionaires, all of them are billionaires, all of them have got like super yachts, and all of them have got Bugatti Veyrons, and all of them can afford as much as that they want because they've got everything in this world. They're not controlling what is going on in this world, using their wealth to buy the media companies so that they get the media companies to say the things that they want to say, which is going to benefit the companies that they own, enable their companies to make more money because they own all of the companies. It's not just one company. So they own them all, and they'll get the media to make you believe things a certain way so that it benefits them companies, and them companies that are doing things wrong and illegal, that contravene the rules and regulations of this world that have been developed over centuries, and they're breaking them for their benefit, so they're criminals. and they're getting the media to condition all of us to think that it's okay. And that's the way the world is run, ladies and gentlemen. But the kiddies that are still here, that if I know the kiddies would have switched off now. The kiddies, don't you worry your little heads, kiddies. That's fine. That's fine, kiddies. Don't you worry your little heads. Okay. What's important here is the rules need to be explained to you. And there you go. Here's the rules. Here's the rules. There's a sloth. There's the wet day in Belgium. That's going to stop cars running each other off the track or what? I don't know what that was used for. Oh, pirates! They're the rules. The pirates are the rules. That's a fancy ship, isn't it? That's good. There's something technical, isn't it? Oh, there's the tech. If you understand that, you'll understand something that's technical. Only those of you that have been to university that have that can understand something that's technical. And if you go and learn that, and you get the answer to that right, then you'll be a winner as well. Well done you. Well done you. Education, education, education. The mantra of everyone's favourite war criminal, Sir Tony Blair. Anyway, thanks for your time, everybody. Next one to come very soon.